The choice should never be, let me key his car or key the female's car. It's never going to turn out good. Now, I see that you have a son and a daughter. How would you feel if your, hello, how is everything going? All right, were you able to get in to see someone at Center for Healthcare Services or no?
Yeah, I go there
Everyone, please whisper.
I go there like maybe 2-3 times a month, repeatedly to go there because I got a counselor, a lady that helps me with resources and stuff like that, and I have also a care provider. So
All right. And is there anything else you need from the court?
I really,
Hmm?
I really like for it.
I mean, is everything going fine? Because my goal is to set conditions of bond so that you can be successful. And if there's any type of impediment to your being successful on bond, uh, you know, if you need drug treatment, if you need any of those things, just let the court know.
Okay. No, pretty much it's the medicine is that they're mixing or trying to get right. It's starting to work now and things are doing right.
All right. And how long has this case been waiting to be indicted, counsel?
About 2 months, Your Honor. We're going in the right direction.
Okay.
We need a drug test lab result.
Okay,
Discovery is not the issue.
okay.
Well, if the drug ID report is not ready, if that's not been produced, then that's discovery is part of this. I am in the process of asking their county laboratory if they have a report that's so produce it, and not introduce it.
All right. And so here's my other question then, because the last time he was here, he said he was homeless. Are you still homeless?
I have a place to go with my mom. It's like I like being there every time. It's not go like twice a week, you know, every other week. And with my friends, I say Nikki, I go stay at her house.
All right, who's the friend who's with him? Hi. All right, so here's the thing. I can reset you again, but if I don't reset you and you're homeless, what's going to end up happening is your mail is going to go wherever it goes. And if you don't receive the mail, a warrant's going to be issued for your arrest because we're not going to know if you received it or not.
This side of the resort.
All right, so if you can make sure that they have your address so that you'll know when your setting is, counsel, unless you want me to give him a setting to coincide with the timelines for asking for whatever you want to ask for if this case is not indicted. So it's up to you. So if you want me to set this off, you say it's been hanging around for how many months?
This
2 is an estimate, Your Honor.
All right.
Excuse me. This been going on for 2.5 years that I've been waiting to come to court. Like seriously.
All right, let me just see this. Can somebody pull this? What's the offense date on this?
For Twincha,
On Marlon Phillips?
it's November 30th of 2023.
Okay, so excuse me, state. This is the offense date on this is 2023. We are in 2025. What are we doing with this case?
That's what I'm saying like that.
Well, no. We're gonna take care of this. So waiting on labs. I don't know. I'm not a part of any negotiation, but this seems to me that maybe this is a further investigation type of thing. But for him to have a charge that's been pending since 2023, that's an issue for the court. And I'll entertain whatever defense you wish to file unless the state wants to do something.
I'll file a motion, Your Honor.
All right, so if you want to handwrite it, we can hear it today.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just have a seat.
Hmm.
Yes, just have a seat. I mean, it's a drug case since 2023. All right, are the parties ready on Samantha
What is that?
Gadarama?
Did you pull the file from the back?
There is a file because you got
He is asking. I believe you can write in it even though he's.
So you're on this side.
Okay.
The docket sheet. So go. to the
So
back
part
and
of
look
this,
for the docket
a
sheet.
part of this plea bargain agreement is restitution of $6,292.70. So has any of that money been paid? Awesome. Okay.
She paid it like the day after.
Okay, all right. And just one moment. Cindy, did you send a link for me or no?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know where it is. Is it the same link each time?
No.
Okay, because I don't have it. Okay, that's fine. I don't need it. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 01093. State versus Samantha Gadarama. Counsel, 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 in the box. Y'all need to move it down to the other end. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 01093, State versus Samantha Gadarama. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Kayla Dietrich for Samantha Guadarrama.
And are you Samantha Gadarama?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report and TAP evaluation?
Yes.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you entered a plea bargain agreement on January 6th. According to the plea, punishment is be assessed at $2,000 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution of $6,292.70 to Mitchell McCain. It's the court's understanding that that amount has been paid. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say?
No, ma'am.
All right, you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Samantha Guadarrama.
All right, so why are you keying this guy's car?
It was a mistake and it was.
No, it wasn't a mistake. A mistake is you take somebody's umbrella thinking that it's yours because they're both black umbrellas. Keying somebody's car is not a mistake. So why are you keying the car?
I was being taunted by my ex about our situation that we were separating and he was sending me videos and pictures of just other women and in our own, like in our home that we lived together during that time and during that night.
That's not what the police report says. The police report I'm reading says that the victim in 01 returned from a night out and the victim parked his vehicle in the driveway of 01's residence. While at 01's residence, 01 received an alert on his video camera. 01 looked at his video camera and observed his ex-girlfriend in the driveway of his residence. 01 was speaking with D1 through the camera, your D1, and D1 believed that another female was at the location as D1 believed the victim's vehicle, which was parked in the driveway, belonged to a female. Victim in 01 continued watching the video camera and observed D1 walking around victim's vehicle, keying victim's vehicle in the process. This is what I don't understand. So it says in here that you thought that was a female's vehicle.
Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
understand why women think that other women owe them any type of loyalty. Why is the go-to for women when they think somebody's cheating on them? Well, let me attack the female. You shouldn't be attacking anybody, honestly. But I don't know why there's this thing, let's destroy the female's vehicle. Maybe he don't want you anymore, or maybe he wants you and the other female. If that's the case, you have choices to make. Either you're going to stay with him and accept the fact that he's cheating on you, or either you're going to leave him. The choice should never be, let me key his car or key the female's car. It's never going to turn out good. Now, I see that you have a son and a daughter. How would you feel if your son ends up dating someone and they become an ex-girlfriend and they won't let go and they end up keying his car? You lose your mind. So here you are out keying somebody's car who doesn't want you, obviously. No, I mean, that's yes or no. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And so you went to jail?
I did.
And how long were you in jail?
That night,
All right, well, how long did you stay in jail till you paid this off though?
that day on January, when I was at court for like 3 days, I believe.
All right, so that's 3 days you spent away from your children because you love a man more than your children. Whenever you make these stupid decisions, what ends up happening is that shows that you're loving this man more than your children. You can't do that. Have you had any contact with him?
No, I love him.
All right, so do you have any children with him?
No, I do not.
All right, so you better not contact him. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
That relationship is over. You don't have any property with him. You don't have any children with him, so there's no need to contact him. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you do for a living?
Part-time.
All right. And have you started dating again?
No, I have not.
Okay, that's a good thing. You're gonna have to get an orchid And I tell everybody this who have relationships problems because orchids teach patience. They have some beautiful orchids out at the HEB. I just saw some when I went there. I'm like, wow, they're so beautiful. They're in bloom. You need to get that orchid. They're inexpensive. I think they have a coupon too, so it's less expensive. Get that orchid and keep that orchid. And it comes with directions. Read up on it, how to care for it. And once those leaves fall off, if you can get that same orchid to bloom again without losing your patience, then you'll be ready for relationships. Because with orchids, you can read those instructions, like it says indirect sunlight, you put it in indirect sunlight. Next thing you know, the leaves are burning. Somebody's like 3 ice cubes, then you learn, nope, it doesn't take 3 ice cubes. So I don't tell people to get orchids to be flippant. It's just that orchids require patience and care. And that's the same thing with relationships. And if somebody is cheating on you, you have 2 choices to make. One, you either accept it and confront them and say, hey, you're cheating on me. And then their choice is to continue to cheat or either say, all right, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it again. But those are your choices. Your choice is not to go and key some car because then you end up here. You understand? All right, this is what the court is going to do. There's a $2,000 fine. That will be probated. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 30 days. There should be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. There should be no contact with Mitchell, MITCHELL, McCall, MCCALL. There should be 3 years deferred adjudication, 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to require parenting classes. Once that's completed, 100 hours will be deemed satisfied. How far did you go in school?
I graduated.
All right, what do you want, what did you plan to do with the rest of your life? Do you like bartending? Do you
No.
plan on, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm a real estate license as well. I just haven't used it.
Okay. And then there's 100, I'm gonna require anger management. And once that's completed, the remaining 100 hours will be deemed satisfied. There's gonna be field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. And the court will show that the restitution amount of $6,292.70 has been paid in full. Probation, is there anything else? All right, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, did you review the document? Let me see if I have it here. Entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney. Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. We can go off the record. So I put you down for 3 years deferred adjudication. If you complete everything early, I'll consider early termination. Whether you're on for the full 3 years or not is completely up to you and your actions. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, make better choices. You got children to consider, okay? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, counsel, you've received all discovery?
No, Your Honor, I've received no discovery. I have looked at the file. I've talked to the prosecutors. They're online about what it is I propose to do. I intend to sign on the other 2 unindicted cases as soon as I get back to the office. And I will be representing them on all the matters.
Mhm.
And I just need an opportunity to assess the cases. The gentleman said there's a problem with the case, and I'm saying there's a problem with you getting arrested.
Okay,
So we're gonna look at this thing realistically. I just need an opportunity to do so.
all right,
I
so,
received money this morning.
all right, so the unindicted cases, state, are those fairly new?
So we have, most of the discovery sans the drug ID report.
All right,
Can you upload the offense report?
Exactly.
all right, and state, were you able to tender an offer, a global offer or no?
I did, yes.
Okay. All right, sir, how old are you?
I'm 52.
All
Well,
right.
gonna be 50,
52, going to be 52. When? What month?
September 16th.
Oh, well, happy early birth month. All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, if I can have is 30 days enough time for you, counsel, or do you need more than 30?
I was hoping for 45.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you give me a plea deadline date in 45 days, please. All right, April 17th. And that will be your plea deadline date.
Your Honor, is there any possibility of having a bond set on this man?
What, he doesn't have a bond set?
He had remanded without bond.
All right, once the motion is filed, I'll hear it. Just make arrangements with
Absolutely,
Ms.
Your Honor.
Ferguson, and
Absolutely.
we'll put it on the docket.
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
you.
thank you.
Have a seat, sir.
Mr. Phillips, so there are no lab reports, so they're tendering dismissal. Here's the thing. You need to stay on top of your mental health issues. You need to stay on top of everything, because if you don't, you know what's going to end up happening? You're going to be right back here, and they may end up having labs and everything. So if there is an issue, if you can't get treatment for your mental health issues, if I'm here, you can always come back here and we'll see what we can do to help you.
Okay.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so Mr. Martinez, I see this is your first time here. You need to make sure that you're on time. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so where are we on discovery?
Your Honor, I still have to review it with my client. I think we've received everything that the state, sent us, but, I still need to review it with my client and go over a few things. He lives in Eagle Pass, so it's been a little difficult, but, hopefully by next setting, we should decide if we're gonna see what we need to do on this thing.
All right, and state, have you tendered an offer? How old are you?
No, 19 right now. I'm 20, ma'am. I'm sorry.
20?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, when people just turn, they hit that 20 mark, they forget sometime.
Yeah, I don't wanna
All right,
get over it.
Ms. Ferguson, set this for a plea deadline date in 45 days. On this date, you'll need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer, if you worked out an agreement. If no agreement is reached by that date, your next date is going to be a jury trial date. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm giving you extra time because I realize you're young and sometimes you need time to think about the consequences of your actions. And also you may want to talk to other people,
Yes, ma'am.
mainly people who love and care about you, not your friends.
April 17th.
All right, because you know what my grandmother would always tell us?
What is it, ma'am?
She would say, ain't nobody your friend. This is the exact quote. She said, ain't nobody your friend but Jesus Christ and sometimes your mom. Because she's like, sometimes your mom
Sometimes
doesn't
not.
like you, right? So friends
Yes, ma'am.
are not friends, you know? You can talk to your mom probably. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, and Mr. LaHood, if you can move down to the other end. All right. And are you Jason Giovanni Bustos?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you entered a plea on January 13th to count one guilty. The state waived count two without objection. You applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. The state opposes your application for deferred adjudication, and there's to be restitution and no contact to the complainant. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report
We have, Judge.
and the TAP evaluation?
We have
Any objections?
no objections, no corrections or addition.
Any objections from the state?
No, you're.
All right, any witnesses state?
No,
Defensive
no, Your Honor.
witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right,
Yeah, my client, just very briefly.
all right, could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Jason Giovanni Bustos.
All right, defense.
Jason, you admitted when you were here, you admitted to probation that you shot your gun at this other person, correct?
Yes.
And this had to do with on a road, you and another vehicle were playing jockey back and forth, correct?
Yes.
And I want to make sure the judge, the other vehicle was a F-150 Ford pickup,
Yes.
and you had a 95 Ford Ranger, correct?
Yes.
4-speed.
Yes.
And you felt threatened by, is that what you felt threatened by the actions of your driver?
Yes.
You know now, when you carry guns, things like this can happen. You can overreact. You understand that that's not very smart, right?
Yes.
That wasn't a smart thing. You overreacted.
Yes.
Have you learned a lesson?
I did.
You think that you could be successful on probation?
Yes.
A lot of reporting, drug testing, fines to pay, community service, maybe some gun safety classes. Think you can be successful in that?
Yes.
You have a drug problem?
I do not.
Pass a witness.
All right, any questions?
Mr. Bustos, so, I mean, you stated that you felt threatened by the other drivers on track,
Yes.
but the encounter that you had with them, it wasn't a short encounter, right? It went on for several miles, correct?
Yes.
And so at any time during that period where you guys are going back and forth with each other, did you ever think to call 911 and report that you were going to threaten like behavior of this other individual?
I did not have a phone at the time.
Okay.
Present.
And so, I mean, there are multiple streets where you could turn off or just went into a business and park. Did you do any of that?
No, there was heavy traffic during the whole entire incident.
Okay.
My first thought would be going towards the HEB that was right across from the highway. And I couldn't make it across due to just traffic flowing through.
Okay, and so there was heavy traffic in the area, so the way that you need to reconcile this is to fire a firearm twice. That was your reaction, right?
That was, but that was after when I got away from several of from the heavy traffic.
Okay, so why didn't you choose to get away from the other vehicle if you felt threatened by that?
I did try to get away from the vehicle.
But then you still followed them and shot.
I didn't follow them.
Did not follow them.
No, I was being followed the whole entire time.
But in the stipulated evidence, it says that the other Ford was taking the turnaround, right, when you fired into the vehicle, correct?
No.
So, okay, tell me.
When I took the turnaround, there was an HEB. The entrance to that HEB was very close to the turnaround. So instead of proceeding, I decided to go straight. When I went straight to the first light, I decided to go on a right-hand turn lane. And I noticed that the truck was still following. Once I noticed that and I checked my rearview mirror, he was already trying to try to jump over the curb to get to where I was headed towards. And I was trying to avoid just a confrontation from him. So instead I proceeded to go straight. When I got off the right hand turn lane, I went straight when the light turned green to the other light, and I didn't even make it halfway until I almost got into an accident just from trying to drive away. My truck stalled, and that's when I noticed the driver was still proceeding and started tailgating, driving recklessly, maneuvering through cars through the traffic that I left behind. So from there, he caught up to me, and that's when I got scared and overreacted.
Okay. And so I want you to help me understand this because in your interview that you gave with Detective Grant, it says that you stated that during some of the swerving that you catched up to the other Ford, and that's when the truck slowed down and tried to cut you off. And then
That was in the highway.
that's when you exited and took the turnaround, and then that's when you shot into the other truck. So on the highway, if you had an opportunity to catch up to him, why didn't you just go somewhere else?
Let me follow up. I'm well familiar with the location. I live out there. When you exited at the Leon Springs exit,
Yes.
Bernie Stage Road. When you exited there to do the turnaround, it's up a ways and there's no place to turn off. It's a service road. It's
Yeah.
very heavily trafficked. And you make the turnaround, there's an HEB on the right-hand side, but there's like 3 lanes there when you do the turnaround. You had to get over 2 or 3 lanes to be able to pull into HEB.
Yeah.
Correct. There's too much traffic. There always is on service road, correct? So you continue straight. Is that
Yes.
correct? And your truck is a Ford Ranger or 4-cylinder?
Yes.
When they're talking about catching up with the individual she brought up, did you accelerate to try to catch up?
When I accelerated.
What did you mean by trying to catch up? Or catching up
What happened was, as we were driving forward
on 10?
on 10, he left it alone. I left it alone. I didn't do anything about it. There's no reason for me to catch up. I can't even catch up.
No, yeah, I understood.
Not against with the truck that has 8 cylinders against a Ford 4-cylinder truck. Anyway, I noticed from about a quarter mile, he's already tailgating another vehicle, but then again he starts to pull back dramatically.
Okay. What do you mean by you caught up with him? What do you mean?
I mean that
Were you trying to catch up with him?
I
or
wasn't
just
trying to
The
catch
flow
up
of traffic, you ended up getting ahead of it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, so
Judge,
this
I may
is,
just say this one thing,
yes.
if I may.
Well, just one second, because I want something cleared up for me. In the report, I'm reading the synopsis, and this is what the synopsis says in the stipulations. It says that the complainant was in his personally owned vehicle. The suspect was in his vehicle, and the suspect began to brake check him on the interstate. I understand brake checking people because sometimes people are riding your bumper. I understand that. I think it's crazy to do that. But I understand why people brake check, say, hey, quit riding my bumper. So that's not the problem for the court, that you were brake checking him. It says that the complainant decided to pass you and continue on his way. So what the synopsis so far is saying is that you were brake checking him, I guess, because he was riding his bumper. And then the complainant decides, you know what, I'm just going to pass this guy. So it says that he passes you, then you caught up to him, pulled up next to him, didn't fire your weapon, but exhibited your weapon to him, and then got in front of the complainant and started brake checking him again. That's where I have a problem. I can understand you're driving. Maybe the speed limit is 60. Sometimes people will be in what's called the fast lane on the freeway, and they're going below the speed limit, which is a no-no. But let's say the speed limit is 60, you're going 50 or 55, who cares? You're going less than whatever. Or maybe this person is speeding behind you. So they're behind you, they're riding your bumper, which people do, which they shouldn't do, because that doesn't give you time to stop if you need to stop immediately. So this person says, you start brake checking them. So I'm sure tempers are high. His temper is high. I know the complainant was probably upset, probably said a few choice words. And then the complainant gets from behind you because you're brake checking him and speeds past you. Maybe he gestured towards you or whatever, but he doesn't pull a weapon. So he speeds past you. That should have been the end of it. Maybe you get on the phone. You say you didn't have your phone, but maybe you memorize his license plate and call the police and say this person is recklessly driving. But he says what happens is you don't do that. After you brake check him and he decides to pass you, you then catch up to him and exhibit your weapon. That's a no-no right there. And then it says, then the complainant, instead of him just calling the police after you pulled your weapon at him, he pulls out his phone to start videotaping you. And then what he does, after you pulled out your gun and exhibited at him, he starts filming you on his phone. And then he starts chasing after you in his vehicle to film you. And it says he continues to follow you. And then they both took the turnaround at Bernie Stage Road and went on the access road. And it says that the complainant then continued to record you. And then you both got off at the 20,000 block of Interstate Highway 10. And then you came to abrupt stop as the complainant passed you on the left. And then when he passed you on the left, it says you started firing with your automatic handgun. And it says that the complainant was still filming on his cell phone when this occurred. So is somebody saying those are not the facts? Because that's what I'm reading.
The last part, Your Honor, from what I can remember, is he did not pass me up. He just stopped after I stopped. I stopped just to make sure he can continue going.
So did you brandish your weapon more than once? Did you brandish your weapon at him first and then brandished it later throughout this incident and then shoot it?
I brandished it once,
And when you brandished it, you fired it.
only on the second time.
Okay, so then you brandished it more than one time. What the synopsis is saying, and don't feel that you have to agree with me. I'm just saying what's in the synopsis. What the synopsis is saying is you brake checked him. And then after you brake checked him, he went around you and passed you. You brandished a weapon. You didn't fire it. He gets upset that you're brandishing a weapon. So then he starts following you and filming you. And then you all meet up and you fire bullets into his vehicle. So is that not true? Is that not what happened?
Yes, Your Honor, that is what happened.
All right. If it's not what happened, just tell me. I'm here trying to figure out what the appropriate sentence is. But I do have a problem if you're brandishing a weapon at somebody, right? And then later you brandished it again. There's a gap in time for tempers to cool. And then you brandished it again and you fire into a vehicle. Did you know how many people were in that vehicle? What if there were children in that vehicle? In their, in their car seats, because you really can't see when babies are in car seats. People could have been killed. And then if you would have been a good shot and you would have killed him, maybe he would have crashed in other vehicles and somebody else would be dead. So you wanted to say something, Counsel, or is there any other questions for him?
No, just something, an argument.
Sure.
Two things. One is 95 Ford Ranger, my wife, although she drives a new car, has a 96 Ford Ranger,
Mhm.
6-cylinder. She uses for hauling plants, shrubbery,
Mhm.
rocks, dirt. Ford Ranger does not have a lot of pickup. Well, it has a limited speed it will go.
Mhm.
An F-150, it doesn't have a lot of acceleration. An F-150 has got a lot of acceleration.
Mhm.
So we've got a small car and a large car. I don't know what happened, but I'm saying there's a difference there, and the 150 ought not be picking on the smaller guy, if in fact that was what he was doing. Second off is, there's questions about why don't you call the police? I don't want my wife going down H10 and getting off on the service road, going at 50 and 60 miles an hour, getting on a cell phone and making a phone call.
Oh, well, what I can, and what
what-
I can tell you, Counsel, the whole thing about calling the police, that's not the big issue for the court.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, okay.
And I think he understands what he made a mistake. Also, I think he's had some mental health issues. He took medicine. They got him back on medicines in the jail. He has no prior criminal record. He had a job. He was productive before this happened. There's nothing in the record that says this would be a reoccurring type thing that I can see. Once he's learned a lesson, give him a chance on probation. I'm asking the court to give him a chance on probation.
All right, state.
Maybe even have some mental health treatment if the court thinks that's needed.
But the evidence that was stipulated to is problematic, that's every driver's worst nightmare, to be fired upon while they're just driving down. And my point about bringing up whether he called 911 or not was that he had a sufficient time to cool down or pull over and retreat, and he did not. He decided to engage and brandish his weapon one time and then fire it twice into that truck. And, we love to do that.
All right, is there any objection to the restitution of $250 to the complainant for that's his deductible?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court is going to find you guilty. The court will sentence you to a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. I'll ask for the therapeutic community based on the mental health. And I do understand, based from reading the synopsis, what was going on with both parties. And there was bad behavior on both sides. But Mr. Giovanni, this is not a probation case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. There's to be no contact with the complainant, and $250 to the of restitution to the complainant. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
When we did all this, you don't have a right to.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. All right, we can go off the record. So I gave you something less than what the state requested because of the facts of your case. You're going to have to get a control of your anger, and you have to start making better decisions. A gun should not be the answer to every issue that comes up. All right, good luck to you.
And he gets credit for time served, right?
Yes,
So you go.
thank you, counsel.
We have an
My
NTR and a
apologies,
plea
Judge. I
with
don't know
no
if you
action.
just still want us. He just.
All right,
Problem.
court is calling 2025 CR 0000532 State versus Leroy Villarreal. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state defense?
Attorney Bill Simmons for defense.
And are you Mr.
Yes, sir.
Villarreal? Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Villarreal, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
And did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes.
Probation, this is an application for deferred adjudication. Mr. Villarreal, did you review admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2, 1 to 4 grams? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will be against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you are giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? You need to speak up.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
In my opinion, he does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
In my opinion, he is and was, Your Honor.
Mr. Villarreal, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No,
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
no, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, there's an $800 fine and the state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor, we would be asking the court to consider probating a portion of the fine.
State is at the plea. Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, community service hours, no contact with the co-defendants, no possession of any firearms, and the MRT course. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
No objection.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waivers with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We would just ask the court to follow the plea agreement. He's made it clear to me that he is no longer in any association with the gentleman he was in the car with, and so we do look forward to him being successful on his probation.
All right, how old are you?
22,
And how far did you go in school?
11th grade.
Why?
I decided to work.
I'm sorry, what?
I decided to work
So what do you do?
construction, so I'm retired.
So you left high school to go and work?
It was what's best for me at that time.
All right, and if you drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Marijuana,
Or what else? When's the last time you used marijuana?
about a month ago.
Do you have any children?
Mm.
All right, and what's your relationship to these other people in the vehicle? So why are you driving around with drugs in the car? No, I mean, if I ask them who the wrong crowd is, it's you. And obviously, have you been around them since this offense?
No,
So you're still using marijuana, so you are the wrong crowd. Because if you were not, you would have came to court and you would have been clean. You understand? So who do you live with? And where are you using marijuana, at their house?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, why are you using marijuana at your parents' house? Obviously, they should know about this. Do they smell it?
No,
All right, if you're doing construction, you shouldn't be doing marijuana. I don't care what other people are doing at the construction site, but I'm sure other people would like their homes built by someone who isn't high, or their buildings. That's how accidents occur. That's how people get the concrete mix incorrectly, and you end up with all those cracks because somebody's doing it when they're high. All right, there's going to be no contact with Joseph Isaiah Vela, VELA, Jorge Enrique Martinez, Luis Enrique Velez, VELEZ, 4 years deferred adjudication, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, 120 sober meetings in 120 days, proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors, TAP evaluation out of custody, and probation. We'll start him with intensive outpatient treatment if they recommend inpatient treatment. There should be field visits 1 time per month until further notice. There's going to be 200 hours of community service restitution. I'll waive those 200 hours if he is in some type of trade school and receives certification, or if he obtains his GED. No possession of firearms. You're not allowed to possess firearms while you're on probation. They say they want the MRT for you. Do you know the difference between right and wrong?
yes, ma'am.
Then why don't you do right instead of doing wrong? Getting in the vehicle with guys who are using marijuana and have drugs is wrong. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Driving around high is wrong because you can cause an accident. Having guns in a vehicle, driving around the city while you're high is wrong. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Does he need any more MRT than that? All right. You better start choosing right instead of wrong, because you're looking at 10 years in the prison. And if you all could test him for levels with the drugs, if your levels go up, they're going to file a motion to revoke. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And stop smoking in your parents' house. How old are your parents? All right. So you're just sitting around at their house getting high. That's going to stop. You understand? Be sure when probation goes to his house to search, and if there's marijuana in there, file a motion to revoke. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. In this court, communication is key to be successful. If there's an issue, let your probation officer know about it. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And stop using marijuana. It fries your brain cells regardless of what anybody says, or unless you're using something else. And you seem very high today, but you're able to understand everything.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
he currently resides in Eagle Pass, Judge, so I've explained to him that if the court allows a courtesy supervision to take place in Eagle Pass, that he still needs to report here until that happens. We also would like to just confirm for him that the court would possibly entertain a possible motion for early termination. My understanding is the state is not opposed.
Well, with regards to early termination, it's going to depend on him. Are you still going to be smoking marijuana in your parents' home or anywhere?
No, Your Honor.
Then, I will consider it. You're welcome. All right, in probation, we'll add a transfer to Eagle Pass, and I understand that you all can't do the field visits if it's in Eagle Pass, but if you could see if Eagle Pass probation could do that and let them know what the court's concerns are about him using marijuana at his parents' house. And I thought your parents were not as young as they are. They should know what marijuana smells like. Don't disrespect their home. And do not have any children right now because you're not ready. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused, Your Honor?
He's gonna need to remain
May
for
I-
probation.
sorry.
Yes, you may.
টিকটক কুইন হইতে যা যা লাগে মানে নাচ গান অভিনয় আর শাবনূর মৌসুমীকে হারায় দেওয়ার মতো এইসব যা কিছু সবই মালার আছে। অথচ আসল জিনিসটাই নাই, একটা ভালো স্মার্টফোন। আমি আমার জীবন দিয়ে ভালোবাসি মালাকে, মালা তার জীবন দিয়ে ভালোবাসে টিকটককে। অবশ্য টিকটককে মালার ভালো না বাইসাও উপায় নাই। টিকটক কুইন হইতে যা যা লাগে মানে নাচ গান অভিনয় আর শাবনূর মৌসুমীকে হারায় দেওয়ার মতো এইসব যা কিছু সবই মালার আছে। অথচ আসল জিনিসটাই নাই, একটা ভালো স্মার্টফোন। ফলে আমাদের দুজনের একসাথে দেখা একটাই স্বপ্ন একইভাবে ভাঙ্গা যায়। মাঝে মাঝে কাজের মধ্যে আনন্দ খুঁজে নিতে আমি হয়ে যাই বলিউডের সালমান খান কিংবা ঢালিউডের ডিপজল চৌধুরী। এই চুরি কইরা অন্যের জীবনযাপন করার সবচেয়ে মজার অভিজ্ঞতাটা হইল এক পুলিশের পোশাক পইরা চোর থেকে পুলিশ বনে যাওয়া যায় আর নিজেকে নিজে এই বইলা সান্ত্বনা দেওয়া যায়, বাবু সারা জীবন এই সূত্রটা না ভুলিস, মানুষ মাত্রই কখনো চোর কখনো বাসে পুলিশ। হ্যালো, ইন্সপেক্টর নাজিমুদ্দৌলা বলছি। ভালো 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 ভালো, শোনো শোনো শোনো, আমি ধরছি, বলো। আমার পকেটে 20 টাকাও নাই, অথচ আমি মালার জন্য মোবাইল পছন্দ করি মোবাইল মার্কেট ঘুইরা ঘুইরা, যদিও জানি না মোবাইল কেনার টাকাটা কই থেকে আসবে। এইরকম দুঃখে কবিরা নীরব হয়ে যায় আর আমার হয় উল্টা। আমি মনে মনে বলি, হায় রে মালা, তোকে দেখলেই কমে যায় হৃদয়ের জ্বালা, অপেক্ষায় আছি তোমাকে করব এমন কাবু, প্রেমে পাগল হয়ে সারাদিন শুধু ডাকবা বাবু বাবু বাবু।
Hello,
Okay,
how is everything going?
fine, I'm doing all right.
All right, were you able to get in to see someone at Center for Healthcare Services or no?
Yeah, I go there every, like,
Everyone, please whisper.
I go there like maybe 2, 3 times a month. repeatedly to go there because, I got a counselor, a lady that helps me with resources and stuff like that. And I have also a care provider, so.
All right. And is there anything else you need from the court?
I really,
Hmm?
I really like for it.
I mean, is everything going fine? Because my goal is to set conditions of bond so that you can be successful. And if there's any type of impediment to your being successful on bond, uh, you know, if you need drug treatment, if you need any of those things, just let the court know.
Okay. No, pretty much it's the medicine is that they're mixing or trying to get right. It's starting to work now and things are doing right.
All right. And how long has this case been waiting to be indicted, counsel?
About 2 months, Your Honor. We're going in the right direction.
Okay.
We need a drug test lab result.
Okay,
Discovery is not the issue.
okay.
Well, if the drug ID report is not ready, and that's not been produced, then that's discovery is part of this. I am in the process of asking their county laboratory if they have a report that's produce it, and not introduced it.
All right. And so here's my other question then, because the last time he was here, he said he was homeless. Are you still homeless?
I have a place to go with my mom. It's like I like being there every time. It's not go like twice a week, you know, every other week. And with my friends, I see Nikki, I go stay at her house.
All right, who's the friend who's with him? Hi. All right, so here's the thing. I can reset you again. But if I don't reset you and you're homeless, what's going to end up happening is your mail is going to go wherever it goes. And if you don't receive the mail, a warrant's going to be issued for your arrest because we're not going to know if you received it or not.
This side of the room.
All right, so if you can make sure that they have your address so that you'll know when your setting is, counsel, unless you want me to give him a setting to coincide with the timelines for asking for whatever you want to ask for if this case is not indicted. So it's up to you. So if you want me to set this off, you say it's been hanging around for how many months?
This
2 is an estimate, Your Honor.
All right.
Excuse me. This been going on for 2.5 years that I've been waiting to come to court. Like seriously.
All right, let me just see this. Can somebody pull this? What's the offense date on this?
For Twincha,
On Marlon Phillips?
it's November 30th of 2023.
Okay, so, excuse me, state, this is, the offense date on this is 2023. We are in 2025. What are we doing with this case?
That's what I'm saying like that.
Well, no. We're gonna take care of this. So waiting on labs, I don't know. I'm not a part of any negotiation, but this seems to me that maybe this is a further investigation type of thing. But for him to have a charge that's been pending since 2023, that's an issue for the court. And I'll entertain whatever defense you wish to file unless the state wants to do something.
I'll file a motion, Your Honor.
All right, so if you want to handwrite it, we can hear it today.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just have a seat.
Hmm.
Yes, just have a seat. I mean, it's a drug case since 2023. All right, are the parties ready on Samantha
What is that?
Gadarama?
Did you pull the file from the back?
There is a file because he got
He is asking. I believe you can write in it even though he's been.
So you're on this side.
Okay.
The docket sheet. So go. to the
So
back
part of
and
this,
the docket
a
sheet.
part of this plea bargain agreement is restitution of $6,292.70. So has any of that money been paid? Awesome. Okay.
Judge, judge, ordered that she paid it. She was in touch with her, she paid it, so she paid it.